crack open the sports page with the Orlando Sentinel and FM 96.9 The Game's Mike the Bulldog Bianchi.
On JRR.
Overreaction Football Monday is putting it mildly, Bulldog.
Yes, it is. The college football playoff is set. Michigan, Washington, Texas, Alabama, Florida State left out, undefeated, 13-0. First time in history an undefeated Power 5 champion has failed to finish in the top four. Go read my column at the Orlando Sentinel. I think it's a sham. I think it's a travesty. I think it's pathetic. I think it's un-American, whatever you want to call it. I mean, good Lord. How do you put two one-loss teams, Alabama and Texas, in over Florida State? Why? Because the committee says, Florida State's quarterback got injured and they're not the same team. Oh, really? They still won their games. Whatever happened, guys, to honoring those who overcome adversity instead of penalizing them? Pat Lynch.
Well, Bulldog, to answer your question, if you're going to go with the theory and the reasoning of what you just laid out, what the playoff committee said, if they had any balls, they would have dropped Florida State to about number 8, going with their thought, because they're with their horrible quarterback situation, they're certainly not going to beat Georgia. They're not going to be able to beat Ohio State. They wouldn't be able to beat Oregon. I question whether they'd be able to beat Missouri, so maybe even 9th.
We all saw it leading up to it. It's just like, what a crock of S.
And that's no disrespect to Florida State or its fans. It's a complete
that was sheer
screw
sarcasm, obviously. Yeah.
What does it tell you about a sport, all right, that you're going to take injuries as part of the criteria for the committee, but they're not going to take Michigan's cheating as part of the criteria?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
what does that tell you?
Now,
sad.
All of this is coming off as sour grapes. I know if you're not an FSU, if you don't care about FSU, you're like, yeah, it's just sour grapes. I'm not an FSU partisan. I'm just taking a look at this, saying this is ridiculous.
That's coming from a Canes fan.
Yeah.
I'm obviously UCF and FSU. I lean towards, even though my daughter goes to Florida. But here's the reality: they got screwed.
How sad is it? Jordan Travis, I don't know if you saw his message yesterday on social media. His quote was, "I wish I had broken my leg earlier in the season so everybody could see this team is so much more than a quarterback." I mean, how sad is it to hear an injured college football player blaming himself, actually wishing his leg had been broken earlier because a bunch of committee members, a bunch of paunchy middle-aged men sitting in a committee room didn't vote FSU into the college football
And if you
playoff.
saw him on College Game Day, you know that kid right there, Jordan Travis, is the most well-spoken, great kind of like kid that other kids are going to look up to. So for him to say something like that, yeah, it's sad.
Hey, question for you guys.
Let me ask you guys one question here.
Yeah.
Do you think if an unbeaten Alabama or an unbeaten Georgia had their quarterback injured, do you think they would out of the playoff?
Of course not.
No.
It's the SEC, man.
If you ask me, this is just a cop-out to get the SEC in the playoff.
Yeah. Question for you. If you're an FSU fan, are you even thinking about going to the Orange Bowl game?
Yeah, I would go. Yeah, I would go for this reason, all right? I hope FSU wins the Orange Bowl, beats Georgia. They're unbeaten. I hope Michigan loses in the college football playoff. I hope Washington loses in the college football playoff. And I hope FSU's the only undefeated team at the end of the season. And then we'll have Danny White, who's coming to Orlando for a bowl game, declare FSU as the national champion.
Well,
How good would that be?
That'd be certainly something. Anyway, yeah.
Absolutely. Speaking of bowl games, Tennessee, Iowa, they will be in the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl. That's one of the big bowl games in Orlando. UCF headed to the Gasparilla Bowl. Again, I think they've been in that bowl like 6 times.
So what happened yesterday? Initially, they were supposed to have a play Duke again, and then they figured out, no, let's not have a rematch of that situation, and now it's going to be Georgia Tech, right?
Now they're having Georgia Tech in the Gasparilla Bowl.
How many players will be there? How many actual players after the portal?
Who knows? We'll see today. The transfer portal opens today. Kansas State will play North Carolina State in the other bowl game, or one of the two other bowl games in Orlando, the Pop-Tarts Bowl and then the Cure Bowl. The Avocados from Mexico Cure Bowl. That'll be.
I don't think you're
That'll
required
be Miami
to mention
of
this.
Ohio versus Appalachian.
I don't think
State.
we're required by law to mention the sponsorship names. They're not paying us anything.
Yeah, exactly. NFL yesterday. What about Tyreek Hill? My God, is he good? 5 catches, 2 long touchdown passes. The Dolphins just blow out the Washington Commanders 45-15. Devon Achane back for the Dolphins, by the way. He scores a couple of touchdowns. Dolphins are looking potent. They're 2 games clear. No, they're 3. Are they 2 or 3 games clear of the Bills?
Bills are 6-6.
Yeah, and they're 9-3, so they're 3 games clear of the Bills in that division. The Buccaneers continue to win ugly. Mike Evans, by the way, he catches a long touchdown pass for the Buccaneers yesterday. What was the stat with him? He becomes the second player in NFL history to have 10 consecutive seasons with 1,000+ receiving yards. The other one, Jerry Rice. Pretty good company.
Yeah.
Wow.
For Mike Evans.
Yeah.
As the Bucks beat the Panthers 21-18. The Bucks are just 1 game behind the Falcons in the division, and they play the Falcons next week. Jaguars play Monday Night Football tonight against the Bungles. Jaguars haven't been on Monday Night Football since 2011. They should win that game tonight, which would keep them a game ahead of or 2 games ahead of the Houston Texans.
How about all the injuries this weekend? My God.
Yeah.
Not good. A lot of players out.
A lot of injuries in the NFL. Other NFL games to speak of, the 49ers just blew out the Eagles 42-19. Brock Purdy, he was Purdy yesterday. 4 touchdown passes for Purdy.
Did you guys hear the audio of the weekend yesterday? Let me play it for you real quick here.
Prior to the receiver's leg hitting out of bounds, his butt cheek hit inbound. As a result, it's a catch.
Let him know, Hussey.
And a first down.
Let's go. If you had butt cheek on your bingo card for the NFL on Fox today, congratulations.
That's great. Was that the one where the receiver made that amazing catch and landed
on his
on
butt cheek,
the guy's stomach?
No.
And then
he just bounced down onto his butt, and it's crazy.
Hilarious.
Magic weren't able to get that 10-game win streak, Bulldog.
No, but you know what? It was a glorious 9-game winning streak. It was snapped by the Brooklyn Nets on Saturday night, 129-101. That Brooklyn player, Mikal Bridges, 42 points, had 26 in the first quarter. But as Paolo Banchero said after the game, maybe the Magic need to start another winning streak now. So,
there you go.
Hey, they're still right up at the top of the Eastern Conference. They need to stay hot. And, They could have had the first 10-game winning streak in franchise history, but it didn't happen. But, man, this has been a great season so far for the Magic.
Look at that. I got on my Magic shirt right now, Pat. You're my witness.
There you go. Mike the Bulldog Bianchi, host of Open Mic on AM 740 and FM 96.9 The Game. I'm a little jealous of you today. You're going to have a fun time on your show, and if you all want to bounce over there, wouldn't blame you one bit on this Overreaction Football Monday. Give us that Bulldog bark. Oh, oh.
Taco on demand. Download the iHeartRadio app.